My name is Holly Reycraft with Evan, East Valley Autism Network in partnership with the Autism Society of Greater Phoenix. What is ESA and how do we utilize it? ESA stands for the Empowerment Scholarship Account, and it was enacted in Arizona, the very first state, in 2011. It is accessible to students who have a disability and have been on an IEP for 100 days in public school, or to preschoolers and kindergartners who have an ASD diagnosis, ASD, autism spectrum disorder. How it works is like a voucher system where parents are given a debit card with $24,000 to $27,000 on the debit card to use towards their child's education in a variety of ways. Here are a couple of ways that you can use it. First, you can homeschool with private tutoring. I spent several years doing this, tutoring kids with autism as a secondary English teacher and also a social skills teacher. In order for me to do this, I had to have certification through the Arizona Department of Education as both an English and special education teacher. How it worked is I was paid through the child's ESA account through the Arizona Department of Education. And typically the parents would bring their child to me 1 to 2 hours at a time, 2 days a week. Another way to use ESA is through a private special education school, which typically runs about $25,000, not including transportation, and is highly therapeutic and specialized in certain areas such as an autism preschool. And there are several here in the Phoenix-Maricopa County area. A third way to utilize ESA, and the one that I would recommend the most, if possible, is to go to a private school, such as a Catholic school or Christian school that charges approximately $9,000 to $10,000 per year for tuition, and use the remaining amount for tutoring. So that would give you around $14,000 or $15,000 towards a private tutor. In many cases, our parents are taking this $14,000 and having a tutor who actually works with the school and sets up accommodations and communications between home and school. To give you an example, let's say you have a 7th grade student who can't remember their pre-algebra assignment each night. The tutor would set up a system where they actually email the parent at home, and they go into the home and assist with tutoring several hours per week for that child. We have found that kids have gotten the best results with that because not only are they being accommodated with their academics, but they're also being pushed and socialized in a safe environment, particularly at some of the Christian schools where they have less bullying and much structure. However, this is only for students who have less behaviors and more academics and are considered high functioning. Please keep in mind that autism is a social deficit. Therefore, it is important to socialize our kids as much as possible. If your school choice is to homeschool your child, you'll have to create other social opportunities for them so that they can continue to grow. Often parents will make this choice for their child when they have some health issues or if they have been bullied and need a break from public school. For example, if they had a trauma with restraint and seclusion or bullying. But it should be a temporary choice with the goal to return back to a mainstream environment where they can continue to grow and be socialized. Remember, the goal with our kids is to include them in society. And recently we have moved away from inclusive settings, which is somewhat of a risk for our kiddos because we always want to keep them in the LRE, the least restrictive environment,